And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your friend Sheep Ludes. As is a Thursday tradition, let us dissect the teases that we have received from NBA 2K23 My Team. This is a special one. It's the first pack drop before Season 3 drops tomorrow, so without further ado, let's get on with it. I'm in here in my white tee like Dim franchise, boys. You know, probably a name most people haven't heard in a really long time, if you've heard it at all. Can we bring back the trend? I'm going to start it here on the channel, where to ascend to rap superstardom, you have to have a custom-made dance. I miss this. I miss this trend that they used to have where, you know, you could only ascend the ladders of the hip-hop hierarchy if you had a sick dance. Preferably a dance that white private school kids were able to master relatively easily. I know that that's not really a huge thing because I know it happens on TikTok, but it's just not, it's not the same as it was before. You know what I mean? You would hear of a new artist and the first thing you would think is like, okay, what's their dance? You know, a la DJ Unk. Is it DJ Unk or DJ UNK? I don't know. It doesn't really matter either way. I'm showing my age so badly during this video. It's fine. Cold front on the way, but my team got some heat coming. Stay tuned. I'll be honest, I read that earlier and I was just like, yeah, okay. I love the social media guy for both 2K and the 2K My Team Twitter profile specifically is either taking a massive piss every single time that they tweet out, or they truly have no idea how to do their job. Because like, cold front on the way, but my team got some heat coming, stay tuned, and then the first drop is Obi Toppin. Like, come on, dog. This has to be a troll, dude. There is no way. I can guarantee you there are zero people who were ecstatic for an Obi Toppin card this year. That's not to say that there's anything particularly wrong with Obi Toppin. He's usually relatively okay. Think back to 2K21. He had a really good card. I wouldn't say it was elite by any means or any stretch of the imagination, but very mid. You know what I mean? Which is appreciated on this channel. Obi Toppin should be okay, I guess. I would say Obi Toppin's probably going to be very similar to Aaron Gordon. Like, I don't think there's going to be too much difference between the two, honestly. Like, Obi Toppin probably has a better jump shot and worse defensive stats. That's literally the difference, but I don't know. I mean, he'll be all right for budget squads for sure. Then we got another budget beast out here, Rudy. The homies out here. Small forward, power forward, no shooting guard eligibility, which is kind of a bummer, but it is what it is, man. It's fine. I've always felt like Rudy plays better at small forward anyhow. That's always been my assumption. Even when he gets cards that can play shooting guard. Unless it's like a point guard shooting guard thing where I kind of like have to play him at the shooting guard. I typically like to play him at the small forward anyway. He's big enough to play the power forward this year too. Like, his player build is huge. Rudy's going to be nice. His jump shot isn't quite as meta as it has been in the past, but it's still very, very good. Just a little bit on the slow side this year. He'll be fun. He's going to be missing like pretty important defensive badges, and he's not going to be able to have them added. But at the same time, he should be really, really solid. It's Rudy, man. Has there ever been a 2K where he hasn't been at least decent? No, that's never happened. At least that I can remember specifically. Ever since I started playing 2K, I mean, Rudy Gay has been one of my favorite players of all time. In the 2010s, I should say. I almost said 2000s. You can hear stuttered there. But, so I mean, maybe I'm a little bit biased because I used to hoop with Rudy Gay back in like 2K9, 2K10. Right? Was that? I think that's roughly around. I started hooping with him, I believe. But either way, I used to hoop with him pretty often. I would always make trades for him in franchise and stuff. So maybe I'm a little biased, but Rudy's fire. Then we got Bulls legend and perennial disappointment Lonzo Ball. Sick. At least they let Lonzo have the Bulls card this time, dude. I'm tired of Lakers Lonzo, if I'm being honest. Like, Pelicans Lonzo is honestly top tier and the most ideal, just because the Pelicans are always a hard team to fill out for challenge purposes. But you know what? It's all good. I'll take Bulls Lonzo as well. Lonzo should be like a legitimate top tier point guard in this game. He's going to be like Jason Kidd, but with a significantly better jump shot. I actually used his gold quite a bit in clutch time offline to get through it in the first season because he's like a cracked out gold, in my opinion anyway. So I'm actually excited for him, but he's not going to be at a price point where I'm going to be able to afford him or it'll make sense. So regardless, still a good card. Still be over 200K though. Speaking of super expensive cards, we got our headliner, Giannis. Yeah, it wasn't really surprising that we got Giannis here. Amethyst Giannis will probably be very similar to the current series Giannis. I don't really... yeah, I mean, maybe slightly, ever so slightly better, but I'm sure he's just going to be basically a carbon copy. I mean, that's what we've been seeing pretty much all year. Diamond Giannis will be good, but he won't be able to shoot at all. But then again, people were using current series Giannis to devastating effect earlier this year, so I actually don't think it's really going to matter that much for Giannis in any way, shape, or form. In the Pink Diamond Giannis, I'm sure what they've been doing this year is pretty much mixing it up a little bit. I did double shake weights right there. That's not good. I meant like a rolling the dice type of thing, but you know what it looked like. Pink Diamond Giannis will probably be able to shoot and will be able to hold shooting badges, and that is terrifying. That being said, will he be creating his own shot? Not necessarily. I'm sure people will use him in a similar capacity to how they use Magic right now, but that's kind of my point, though, is they took Magic and Penny, who are traditionally cards that are very good offensively and have that size, but they're not really good defensively. They turned him into two of the best defensive point guards in the entire game this year. So I'm not exactly feeling optimistic about Giannis's lack of shooting abilities. I'm sure he's going to be able to stroke it out just fine, dude. Now, Obi Toppin's interesting. 6'9", 7'1" wingspan. He's like... I mean, dude, he's not really going to be elite at anything. He's just going to be, like, pretty okay at everything except defense. Like, his defense is going to be pretty trash. I don't know what's up with this release, but I'll go ahead and test it out. But Embiid dribble style, man, it's not looking good for him out here. Either way, I mean, he'll be okay, I guess, but whatever. Rudy 6'8", but he looks about 7'2". 7'3" wingspan. Rudy is going to be elite. He's not going to particularly excel defensively, but I think like he's going to be a little bit better than you would anticipate. His release is good, as it typically is. It's just a little bit slower this year. He has Trae Young's dribble style, which I think is actually pretty decent. Scotty's behind the back. Like, he's got a decent stable of movement options, so I'm interested to see what's Rudy going to be like tomorrow and how much is he going to be. I mean, dude, we have a wealth of small forwards, so I don't think he's like a clear-cut upgrade to like a, you know, OG Anunoby or Scottie Pippen, but it's interesting to see what he's going to be like when he drops tomorrow. Then we got Lonzo. I love Lonzo's release. I really hope they don't mess with it. I think it's really, really good. Releases it at kind of a low point, but we'll talk about it when I test the releases out. John Morant dribble style, not the greatest, but definitely not the worst, especially if you're used to using like a Gary Payton or something of that nature, or John Morant in general. He's got Kobe's escape, which is cool. Harden's step back, which is all right. Trae Young's behind the back. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I know a lot of people really, really like it with Tim Thomas and stuff like that. So maybe it's a little bit better than I had anticipated. I really haven't used too many Trae Young SIGs this year, just because every person that has Trae Young SIGs, aside from Marbury, is typically really, really expensive, and I'm not really a dribble head anyway. He should be good, though. I mean, he's got the normal leaner, which everybody loves, with a burning passion, so it should be fine. And 6'6" with a 6'7" wingspan at the point guard will be chef's kiss. Chef Boyardee. Do people still eat Chef Boyardee? It's just like, I know I went on this anti-lasagna tirade, which it wasn't even an anti-lasagna tirade. I just stated that Garfield the cat is simping over like a C-tier Italian cuisine. You know what I mean? That's basically all I was saying. But like, if you eat Chef Boyardee still, man, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, pasta dishes and noodle dishes are so easy to craft. And I just don't know why you would dump slop out of a can into a pot and eat that when it's just so easy to just make your own, man. That's all I'm going to say. Raviolis, whatever, dude. But, like, everything else, man, bad. Giannis. Giannis has Michael Jordan dribble style, which means he's going to move really well. I assume his SIGs are going to remain the same. Like, he'll have his own crossover, which is not good. Stephen Curry behind the back's okay, but not great. Normal leaner is actually kind of scary. If he can shoot it all on next gen, it's going to be horrendous. His release is really, really good. Either way, I mean, someone who's 6'11 with a 7'4 wingspan should not be moving at the level that this card is going to be moving. I mean, dude, there's a reason people were running this Amethyst still up until like not even that long ago as their main power forward. Like, look at the badge count on this bad boy, dog. Like, for a current series card, this man has 34 or 36, I'm sorry, I can't do math, total badges. He has like pretty much all the playmaking badges. This card's going to be ridiculous. Like, I'm sure they're going to limit him in some capacity shooting wise, but I mean, people were greening consistently with a 66 shot 3. I don't expect this to turn out well for anyone that doesn't have a bunch of MT to spend. Now, that being said, Amethyst one probably be very similar to this Giannis right here. The Diamond one will be better, and if, I mean, he has a little bit better three-pointer, like, he'll be a budget option for sure, depending on his hot zones and stuff as well. Pink Diamond Giannis is going to be a whole new beast. I'm sure people would still rather run Tim Thomas, but you could just run Tim and Giannis next to each other. Cracked. Anyways, let's go try out some releases, man. So here we got Giannis. His release is really, really solid. It is a little bit slower, but that being said, it's still really, really good off the catch and shoot. Like, if you hit Giannis in the corner, like, he's definitely going to be able to green. He does step over the line, though. That is something to kind of understand about Giannis, as he's getting huge. And, like, shooting corner threes with him does get a little bit trivial at times. He does like to step over the line quite a bit, which I've noticed is a thing that happens with a lot more jump shots this year. You know, because like last year, for instance, there was a few jump shots like set shot would step over the line on current gen and stuff like that, and then obviously Carmelo and Paul Pierce base would always step over the line. But I just feel like this year there's so many more jump shots that can't hit from the corners, but it could also be a player build issue. I'm just not that adept in telling you what those things are, but Giannis's release is cracked, like, and he's huge too. Like I said, if he can even shoot a little bit, it's over. Like, he's the best small forward. I would still run him at power forward personally. I'm also of that opinion that Giannis always plays better at power forward, just because it's like, I get from a defensive perspective, you want to throw this massive like human being up there to like disrupt the offense, but I just feel like you're really discounting how well he works in the interior, you know what I mean? Like, even when we get to the end game invincible type area, I still feel like Giannis is better at the power forward. I know people want to run double giants and stuff, but man, still gas. All right, let's take a look at Rudy. I'm interested to see what's up with Rudy. Like I said, I mean, look, he looks obviously shorter than Giannis, but not by that much, and his arms are just so long, dog. Like, this man has the longest arms. Like, he looks like somebody put Jimmy Butler on a stretching rack. Either way, like, he's so good. Like, Rudy is usually a 2K demon, and I don't suspect that's going to change this year. Like, the jump shot is a wee bit slower than his normal jumper, but I mean, I haven't used Rudy basically all year aside from like a couple challenges, and I'm ranging greens with him already, so that's not exactly what I would call a good sign. Rudy could legitimately sneak his way. And, well, I mean, it'll be a little bit before the next qualifier, so I'm not going to sit there and say that he'll sneak his way onto qualifying squads. But if the qualifiers were this week, I could easily see Rudy sneaking onto a few qualifier squads for sure. As a diamond, no question. I mean, people were running, like, Jason Kidd and stuff, but this jump shot is elite. I think OG Anunoby's time as my starting small forward may be coming to a close. Well, I actually replaced him with Jimmy Butler already, but you know what I'm saying. Like, Rudy might be the guy. I don't even care about his defensive hiccups. Like, this jump shot is clean for sure. And now I'm breaking it because I said that, but either way, should be fun. Oh man, of course I'm trying to switch players. Now I got to jump. Oh, I got green to jump shot. You know how it goes. Gosh, there it is. All right, let's go take a look at Lonzo. Obi Toppin will be last. Wait, Lonzo, sorry. My bad. I picked up LaMelo. There's Lonzo. I was going to say, I know I had him on the squad. There we go. That's what you get for having two balls in the mix. Yeah, Lonzo has a nice player build. Like, his jump shot is kind of, I wouldn't say slow. It's just very mid-tier as far as timing-wise. It's better than, like, a Jason Kidd, though, for sure. It's better than, like, Kids. It's better than, like, Caruso's. It's better than DeJounte Murray. Like, the other defensive-minded, quote-unquote, true point guards. Like, he's going to have a better jump shot than those guys for sure. And I don't know if we're at the time where they put their releases on quick quite yet. But if we are, yeah, that's going to be a problem. He does have a release that releases lower, so it's going to be easy to contest. I shouldn't say easier to contest is what I should say, but either way, I mean, Lonzo is going to be gassed. I have no question he'll be fine. And then the man of the hour, the one everybody has been waiting for, Obadiah Toppin himself. There's just something about Obi that I just don't like. I don't know what it is. Like, not as a person. He got some big feet, though. Like, why are his feet so big? Like, he's got the same foot size as, like, Shaq, but then he's got, like, Rudy Gay's player build. It doesn't look right. And I think that's probably why I have issue with him. Oh, look at this. The jump shot's okay. I mean, it's all right. Like, it's better than Aaron Gordon's for sure. It's not hard to green. It's just not incredibly meta by any means. He puts a lot of arc in it, releases it kind of high, so that's kind of good. And, I mean, if he's good defensively, which I don't know if he will be, he'll be fine. He'll be a good budget power forward, but I don't know. The question is, like, is it going to be better to be running him or to go do 5,000 MT and just run Vucevic at power forward, I guess is the question. Because Vucevic is a very, very good power forward, in my opinion, for a budget squad. So I'm wondering if that's going to be a thing. I don't know. He'll be able to handle the rock. He'll be able to attack the rim. And the jump shot is not half bad. Either way, let's go look at the market. I'm curious to see if this is going to affect the market, but to what degree, I guess, is kind of where I'm at. Like, let's look at some guys that for sure are going to be affected. Josh Smith, 100%. Like, anybody who's using Josh Smith before, which there are some pretty dedicated Josh Smith users out there. Yeah, I mean, he's a buyout right now. Dwight Howard is going to take a pretty big fall because a lot of people run Dwight Howard at power forward, and they are obviously going to run Giannis at this current juncture for sure. Gary Payton is going to fall in price. And the reason for that is because Lonzo is just going to be like a better version of Gary Payton. I would group like Jason Kidd, Caruso, Gary Payton, like those defensive stalwart point guards with slower jump shots in kind of the same area. Hakeem will probably remain the same. Nobody's really running Giannis at center. Who else? I don't think Penny drops in price at all. I just feel like he is so good that there's really no point for his price to drop a whole lot. And he's got the size advantage and the offensive advantage over Lonzo. So Kobe's not going anywhere price-wise. Who is a player that for sure will take a damaging hit due to Giannis? I mean, not DeMar. People are still running the homie Tim Thomas. I mean, Ron Artest maybe. Ron Artest has been cheap, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I actually don't think... You would think that Giannis, you know, the Giannis man himself, would drop the value of a lot of cards, but honestly, none of the cards that we have available are really going to be taking hits due to Giannis's availability. Like, we really don't have any elite power forwards, truly. I mean, people have been running centers at power forward, like Dwight Howard. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. The other thing is, Giannis is going to be super expensive, but a lot of Sweatlord guys probably aren't even going to use him. The ironic thing is a lot of people are probably going to pick up Giannis and then run him off the bench because AD exists. Unless they're going to run like Giannis AD, you know, tandem, little duo action, that's also possible, I suppose. I don't know. The rest of the cards, like Obi Toppin's not affecting anyone's price. I mean, maybe Aaron Gordon is down a bit since Obi's coming in. Obi seems like a little bit better of a version, but that's about it. When it comes to Rudy, I mean, I don't think he affects anyone's price either. The one thing I will say about Rudy, though, is we really haven't had good budget wings outside of Nightmare Ron Artest. Like, he's kind of the only good budget small forward, at least that I can think of. I mean, RJ Barrett was okay for a bit, but that's about it. So last season, we really didn't get any small forward power forwards that were good at a budget besides maybe Aaron Gordon. And if you count Ben Simmons, but he's kind of a radically different player. So I think that's pretty cool. But other than that, he's not affecting anyone's prices. All of them were from the takeover, which we're getting new takeover players tomorrow. I don't know who it's going to be. I want to optimistically say like Terry Dissinger or like Wayne Embry or Jack Marin or something, but it's probably not going to be any of those guys. I'm going to wing it, and I'm going to say Darius Miles tomorrow. Lock it in. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.